It was another weekend of intense football. I mean, classic performances across board. And yes, another weekend where Arsenal were very lucky. Ladies and gents, welcome to the Monday review show here on Scorable TV. My name is Kindo. It's a pleasure having you on board, Chike.
Thank you very much, and welcome, guys, to another weekend of football.
Yeah, now talking about with football there, you had a very precise prediction there in the game between Spurs versus City. You predicted that game 2-2, and indeed it ended in a 2-2 draw.
Yes, I got that right, and rightly so, because Tottenham and Man City are always likely to play a draw. Yes, you know that there are always goals in such games, but it's a prediction that was always going to happen. We saw some controversy, which we are going to discuss.
Yeah.
But I believe it was a game that was destined for a draw and in favor of Arsenal.
Arsenal. He will always find a way to take it to the government side. It's okay there. So Spurs looked very commanding in the first half of that game. They had 2 goals from Semenyo,
right?
And yeah, Man City looked very commanding. Excuse me there. And they had 2 goals from Semenyo and Ryan Chiki. Looked like it was, dusted for City, but yet Spurs find a way to, make them find themselves back into that game. It looked like City lost their mojo in the second half.
Yes, I believe Tottenham just felt that, or the coach told them that there couldn't be any worse performance. They had already done so poorly, and to go below that was just to show that they don't play football. That probably they should go and do something else, for me. So yes, they came out fighting. They had a very, very controversial goal, which I believe kind of dented the spirits of Man City players. To me, that was a foul on Guehi. So that goal was given, and the pressure, normally, psychologically, it plays out. They started piling the pressure on Man City and got the second one, and they could have won the game. So yeah, I think credit to Spurs for not, keeping their spirits down and coming out in the second half fighting as well. So credit to them. City were also, too poor in that second half.
Yeah.
They didn't create a lot. Haaland was a bit lost. Aside his assist, I don't think there was any more contribution from Haaland in the past games. Now he hasn't scored a lot of goals. So they were poor in the second half, and for a team that is fighting for the title, I think they should have done better.
Now, talking of Haaland there, Haaland in his last 6 games, he have just 1 shot on target, though he had an assist in that game. But going by his own standards, is it something that should be worrisome already?
Definitely something that should be worrisome. But I also think that the Pep tactics now are currently not favorable to him. He's struggling to find spaces. I think defenders are now kind of ganging up against him. He's struggling to find spaces, and he's also struggling to receive the ball. He rarely gets the ball nowadays. City play a bit differently now that they don't have a creative player like De Bruyne. But then again, it's up to Haaland to see how he can sort issues with defenders around him, and also up to Pep to see how he can devise new approaches to the game for Haaland, to be able to, start scoring goals again.
Look, more so, I like City are missing a certain Kevin De Bruyne so much, but I thought a certain Ryan Cheki was going to solve that problem, but it looks more like things are just a bit more complicated for City at the moment.
Yeah, Ryan Cheki is a very young player. He's still developing, and he's not at the level that De Bruyne left.
Exactly. That's
still
true.
Developing, and unfortunately, he also left the game due to injuries. So yeah, he's a massive player for Manchester City, but I think it will, still take time for everybody to gel in that team. Like I told you in the last episode, City is a team that is rebuilding. Lots of young players are coming in, and they need time to gel fully. In fact, they are doing well this season. It's just that their defense has been a lot shaky, and they are not really scoring goals. They are not finding Haaland.
It's about 14 games to the end of the season. Looking at City's, their current, their recent struggles and all of that, would you say it's a done deal for City, considering, when it comes to chasing for the title this season?
No,
Not a done deal yet.
Far from it. Far from it. City still has Arsenal at home at the Etihad. If they win that, that's 3 points down. So there's still a lot of games to play. 14 game ball. Generally, not as an Arsenal fan though, but I feel Arsenal has the most complete squad currently and the most experienced squad as well. In that scenario, in that top three, I think they have the most experienced and complete squad to win the league. I don't see Arsenal dropping a lot of points.
Well, to round it up on that game, and what would you say? Is it that City, could not lost it all out, or Spurs kind of find a way to get themselves back into that game? What actually happened?
I think the first goal City considered was a bit demoralizing.
It looked like it was a foul on.
Yeah, it was definitely a foul for me. I'm not sure why the VAR didn't give it. I'm thinking maybe they interpreted it as not a clear and obvious error or something like that. But I think it was a foul. Probably it was a bit demoralizing to them, but as players, things don't always go your way. You have to pick yourself up and go again. So as much as City lost their spirit, I also want to credit Spurs, for coming out in that second half. The coach, Thomas Frank, made some changes that I believe also affected the game. Bringing in Sarr, taking out Romero, and some attacking decisions that he made. So I felt that Spurs came out in that second half and offered more.
Well, personally, I don't think that was enough contact to be, for that goal to be cancelled. It would be a very unfair decision against Spurs now if that goal was cancelled. But Chike thought should have been cancelled.
That was a foul.
Well, let's leave it at that. Well, moving on from there, United against Fulham. United had that. It seems to be a very, different spirit ignited in the United players. The United we know in recent or under Amorim, after Fulham were able to pull 2 goals back, put them level. Should have been a done deal. The highest should have been a draw in that game, but somehow they find a way to now they brought themselves back into the game and even be able to pull a win in that game.
Yeah. Man United I won't say lucky to win that game because they deserve to win the game. Up until Fulham scored, Manchester United dominated the game.
Clearly
they played some intricate passes, creating chances at will. Everybody beefed up for that game. I think I predicted 1-0 for that game because I didn't think
there were going to be a lot of goals.
I didn't think they were going to concede actually, because of how strong the defense have been lately. But then again, they considered the penalty, and then the late push by Fulham as well, also gave them that goal. So I think they played very well. They deserved to win the game. Credit to Bruno Fernandes, super player. Credit to Cunha, Casemiro, players that are now turning up, showing the quality that they have, and putting Man United, in that position to at least go into Europe. So credit to Manchester United.
Yeah, it's a 3/3 for Michael Carrick now. Started 3 games. He's in charge of 3 games and he won all 3 games against very good sides. But there's something else that look kind of worrisome. If you look at the team, they managed to score 8 goals in those 3 games, and they've also conceded 4 goals. Although that yesterday game, it was almost going to be like they were going to lose the game, if not for the that minute magic that happened. They were able to get the win, but it looked like they need some patch to tidying up their defense because they are conceding a lot of goals. 4 goals conceded, 8. They scored 8.
Yes, they've conceded, but the manner of goals they are conceding, you won't say it's a worry. Against City, they kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Against Arsenal, an own goal from an own goal, and from a corner as well. Arsenal set piece
Set
FC.
piece.
Against Fulham, you had the controlled majority of the game, and probably because of the changes that were made, taking off Casemiro, putting Ugarte, who I don't really rate. They considered the penalty, and then so I won't say it's a worry. They have some experience there, but also they need a bigger depth in their squad to be able to cover some position.
Dalot looked very shaky in that right back position. He was trying so hard to keep hold of Jimenez yesterday. Are you looking at United getting someone for that right position? Perhaps Dalot can be coming from the bench.
Yeah, Manchester United have needed a right back for a long time. I don't even think Dalot is a United kind of player. I just think it's Man United are using certain players and hoping that they are able to sign better quality players once they offer some top football like the Champions League. Once they get back to European football, I think Manchester United will be able to attract the best players. So yeah, Dalot has been shaking, not just the past few games, but throughout the season for years now. Dalot is not someone that you can say, okay, Man United can depend on for the number 2 position. So
yeah, he's not really the guy for the big team.
Yeah. But he's doing his best. He's performing at his level, I believe.
Casemiro looked very solid in recent games, though he has announced his departure at the end of the season. Would you have think Man U would need Casemiro beyond this season?
Well, it's looking like a bad decision now, right? Because he has been performing.
His performance. It seems like the manager has found a way to make him.
Yeah, Casemiro is a quality player. It's just about getting the best from these players. And I think he wants to live with his head held high. He wants to live in a very, very good position, in a very, very good state. At least doing his best, probably helping Manchester United back to the Champions League.
Just like he did at Madrid.
Yeah. No, that back to the Champions League.
Yeah,
he
but
he can't win it in Manchester United.
I mean, when he left Madrid, the ovation was very high. So he didn't allow himself to be. Well, my United have just a game to play week in, week out. Looking at that situation, do you say some sort of an advantage to them to help them make it into the top 5? Because we look at other teams who are vying for that same top 5 finish, have lots of games to play.
To be honest with you, I think if Amorim had actually listened earlier, played these players in their best positions, I think Man U probably would have been challenging for the Premier League. To be honest with you, Man United have quality players. Talk of Cunha, Fernandez, Mbeumo, Ahmad. These are very, very good players. So if he had played these players in their positions with a formation that works, I can't start listing all of them, and playing one game a week, Man United would have been in a very, very strong position. Now, probably they would have been in Aston Villa's position. To be honest with you, they were creating lots of chances. In short, they are the highest. They have the highest shots on target or shots on goal in the league currently. So I think they have a very, very big chance playing once a week to qualify for Europe.
Yeah, personally, also I questioned that decision when Amorim was laid off. I questioned that decision, but it's kind of looking like it was the best decision the board made. Letting Amorim go. It has been a very good decision for Man United since the arrival of Michael Carrick. Now, in looking at that game, who would you say was your stand-up player in that United versus
Bruno, all the special player, always making things happen. So assists, he's a top midfielder. I always wanted him at Arsenal. I wish Man U can, even loan him to us with Merino's injuries. so he can at least win the league before he leaves England. So if they can give us for 6 months, let him win the league and go back to them. He deserves it. He's a special player, and he was my standout. Casemiro as well, a goal and an assist, and I think he performed brilliantly as well. But Bruno was standout.
I hope United fans are listening to you. You can see who is looking for your downfall now. He wants to take away your best
just
player.
6 months. 6 months only. Just let's reward him with the Premier League. He deserves it. Yeah.
He has so much confidence that Arsenal are going to lift the trophy at the end of the season.
It's already decided.
We'll see how it all pans out. We have 14 games to go. There are 6 points ahead. We say, yeah, let's see how it ends.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
So it's already sealed.
Yeah, moving on from there, let's take a look at the Chelsea vs West Ham game. Man, what a game that was. But I think, Liam, looking at that lineup for that game, is it that Liam, the Chelsea manager, underrated a certain West Ham, which personally I think they kind of found their mojo in their last couple of games. They've been doing very, very well, looking at how they can be able to get themselves out of that relegation zone. But he kind of underrated the team. He dropped some of quality players, and it wasn't looking funny for him in the first half. Well, what do you think of that lineup?
Yeah, the lineup was, to me, Chelsea have lots of individually quality players. What I think Chelsea needs is to play more like a team. I think he was looking ahead of tomorrow's game.
Yeah, the game against Arsenal.
Against Arsenal. And I'm looking at that game, and I think it's kind of Chelsea's priority right now, aside getting into Champions League. But I think the squad is okay, to face West Ham. If you start comparing the two squads, you always see that Chelsea players or the Chelsea squad is always going to come ahead of the West Ham squad. So, but I think it was a brilliant game, and the two teams, although it didn't go according to what I predicted, but, it was this close. If West Ham were more serious,
I know your prediction was all so that things could happen in favor of Arsenal, but well,
I don't have any business with Chelsea. the prediction was just, I'm far ahead of Chelsea.
It's all right. It's all right. Well, looking at that Chelsea starting lineup there, it seems like a certain Garnacho performs better when he comes off. I'm not sure he was up to average in that performance. He was quickly taken out in the second half. Is he this kind of player, more like Madleni kind of player, where they're better off coming from the bench?
Garnacho has been poor. I don't think Chelsea might even end up selling Garnacho at the end.
It looked more like it.
He has been poor, because he's not a player that you say can cause terror from the wings. For a top team like Chelsea, any top team, you need wingers that can cause terror, that when defenders look at, they are always shaking. And Garnacho doesn't offer that for me. Credit to the coach for taking action, immediately taking action, saying that it wasn't going to work, made the changes that he needed to make and got his results. So credit to the coach, but Garnacho needs to improve to show that he can play for a club like Chelsea.
Looking at that game now, the result for Chelsea in that game means that they're a point above Liverpool now, and 1 point behind Manchester United. What does that mean for Chelsea? Are you looking at them being able to get into that top 5? The top 4 position. Are you looking at them getting into the top 4?
Of course, that's their ambition. But
Liverpool have been, they're fighting so well too. They could get into that, because
the top 5 position is probably open to even Brentford as the table looks now. Brentford is at 36 points.
Well,
Manchester United is at 4th, is on 41. So it's not just, it seems like many teams now, or about 3-4 teams, can actually, believe that they can get in, because the point difference is not too much. So yes, Chelsea are in it, and a club like Chelsea should always be going into the Champions League.
Well,
yeah. So it's 3 spaces left, because I think Aston Villa will qualify. Man City, Arsenal, then the 3 major teams that will be vying for the remaining 2 spots: Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester United. They'll be vying seriously for that position.
And these are very serious teams who are looking at picking up the Champions League spot there. Well, who would you say was your stand-up player in that Chelsea game? Anyone to pick?
Tough one. I think, will I say João Pedro? João Pedro came on, got
Had a
goal
very
and
decent second.
yeah, a goal and assist. I would say João Pedro. Cucurella is also a strong mention. Cucurella
Now you mentioned Cucurella. Looks like it's a tight contention between him and Pedro.
Cucurella is also a very, very strong mention, but I would say João Pedro. Goal and assist does it for me.
Goal and assist. Well, I'll go for Cucurella because, considering his own position, he was able to get them that win, and it should be a casting. And Cucurella for me. Now let's move on from that Chelsea game against West Ham and we'll go to Liverpool versus Newcastle United. Looking at the Newcastle team now, I'm thinking perhaps their injury chaos at the moment kind of costed them that game because their most formidable guys in the middle of the park, talking of Gyökeres and Jolinton, they're both injured. They had to feel the likes of putting the guy that came in from Arsenal who could not make it into the Arsenal team that they signed, feeding him in the middle of the park. Is the injury that kind of caused West Ham, Newcastle now that game?
Injuries always affect teams.
Yeah.
No matter the size of the team, no matter the position, injuries always affect. But I felt Newcastle could have done more. They still had quality on the pitch to be able to do more. Conceding 4 goals is too much for a club like Newcastle.
Newcastle have a very big decision. 4 goals, too much.
It's all about the approach to the game. Recognizing what you have and how you can play to get the result you need. They got the first goal. Getting that first goal should put you in a position where you believe that you can even go and win, or at least live with a draw. But at the end of the day, they conceded 4. I think it was too poor. Too poor.
Hugo Ekitike, is he established in the league already? He looks very prolific, like when Haaland came in.
Yeah, Hugo Ekitike is doing really well. To be honest, I didn't expect that he was going to kick off that quickly. But he's doing very well, very, very well. Always scoring important goals, always threatening in the box. I think he has been fantastic for Liverpool so far, and I think he's going to do very well in Liverpool.
Looking at another person is doing very well for Liverpool already, it's Florian Wirtz. Wirtz seems to have arrived finally. He had a very struggling beginning, coupled with lots of some injuries when he first came in, but he looks more like a very stable player, someone who watched at Leverkusen. He looks like a player that has arrived, and with his current performance, I see something that Liverpool can take advantage of to get into that top 4 finish.
Yes. Yes. He struggled. He really struggled. He went through a lot. If some players actually go through the banter, I would say
it was they counted the 07, 01 ahead. It got to 7 and
it got to 11. I think. So he went through a tough start, and I think even during the period he was going through this turmoil, I think he was always showing signs, little signs of what he could do, But now I'm glad that he's finding his feet. He's doing very well, scoring goals, creating chances, creating assists, and contributing overall to how sleek Liverpool play. So I think Wirtz has been, excellent in the past few games.
Quite an emotional goal it was for Brahim and Konate there, getting that goal in the dying minute. In the dying minute. That was an emotional one, considering since the last time, that's the first time he's starting a game since he lost his dad. He just made it back into the starting lineup and he got the goal. We could see he was very, very emotional.
Yeah. It's always sad losing someone.
Looking at that great performance from Liverpool, a lot of players, brought in their A game. Who would you say was your stand-up player in that game?
My stand-up player, I didn't watch the game fully, but where Wirtz having a goal and assist, and also contributing to the overall attacking play. Ketike also has a shout, but I think Wirtz has it for me.
Florian Wirtz there for Chike. Arsenal up against Leeds. I predicted that Arsenal was going to win that game, even though I didn't I did say that Arsenal were going to concede in that game, but they went out at a surprise and they finally showed up when it was indeed needed, delivering a masterclass performance against Leeds United. Getting 4 goals, a lot of goals it was in that game. Now, and Madueke filled in for Saka. How well did he perform?
Brilliantly. Always threatening down the flanks. Had a goal, had an assist. I think it was just brilliant. He was taken out, I think, in the 60th minute to, I believe, in preparation for the Chelsea game. But I think he was brilliant. He has gone through his own share of banter as well. But when you see players that can shine, when you see players that have something in them, you always know. Madueke is a player that causes havoc in defense. I just feels that he needs to add some finishing to his end game. Creating more chances, scoring goals, and I think he'll be an overall better winger. So I think it was brilliant.
Havertz started that game in the middle of the pack. Now that Havertz seems to be kind of fully has recovered fully. If you're making an Arsenal starting lineup, it looks like there's a lot of option up front. Where are you going to put Havertz? Because he didn't quite match in that game in the middle of the pack. They brought Odegaard in for him. He was quickly replaced in the second half. Are you looking at Havertz making it into? Is there anybody he can replace in that front line?
Of course, Havertz is an important player.
Very much, yeah.
To us now, I think that's why you need to have strength and depth in every department. The approach Mikel came with was because of what he expected from Leeds. He expected a fast game, a physical game, and felt that because of Odegaard's form and his preference for control, because Odegaard is more of a control kind of player. He preferred to start with Havertz because Havertz can run around, Havertz can withstand the physical aspects of the game and all. So I think that starting 11 with Havertz in the middle restricted Leeds from creating so many chances. They restricted them to just, I think, did they even have a shot on target?
They had one shot on target. Okay.
Yeah. So you see, it restricted them. In the second half, Havertz, that's his first Premier League start in a very long time. So I believe rest as well and to, give a bit of control in the game because Leeds were kind of firing up. So I felt he brought in Odegaard to offer some control in that game. So yeah. That's why you have a very good squad.
Yeah, talking of Odegaard now, he came in the second half and, he was very influential. He provided an assist for Gabriel Jesus' goal. We've all, personally, I've criticized him in recent games. Would you say, for the time being, it's better he's always coming off from the bench?
Yeah, I told you that, yes, this Odegaard needs to do better.
Yes.
I've been critical of Odegaard in the past few weeks. He needs to do better. But it also depends on how the coach uses him, what the coach tells them. I believe if the coach passes an information to Odegaard, shoot more, find ways to create more chances. Don't just, pass around, go back, and all. It all depends on what the coach tells them. Odegaard is our captain. Our captain cannot always be coming from the bench. He has to find a way to improve, and the coach also needs to find a way to get the best out of him. So I think we have the squad. If he's coming from the bench, if he's starting, we have the squad that can, deliver. If he came in that second half and he did very well, got an assist, created some openings, leading to the goal by Gyökeres. So I think it's up to the coach. It's up to the coach. He should get the best out of his captain. Our captain is our leader on the field. Our other players should see the captain and say, we are fighting with him. He's fighting. We have to fight. We don't have any other option. So yeah, that's
14 games to the end of the season. 6 points clear at the top of the table. Are you really convinced that, come May, Arsenal will be able to lift that Premier League trophy?
Right now. I'm 100% certain that Arsenal will win the league. No, this weekend has just told me that Arsenal are going to win the league. You know, if care is not taken, we might even win the quadruple. You know, because of how strong we went to Leeds. That is why I talk about confidence and the manager being able to take more risk. We went to Leeds. Leeds have not lost at home since November. And they were only able to create a shot on target, and they didn't score a single goal. So it's about confidence, and if we can maintain this, I'm very sure that we win the league. 6 points ahead, we win the league.
If Arsenal can maintain their current, if they are more hungry for the trophy, definitely they should be able to clinch it.
We are winning the league.
Definitely. Chike is very.
No, I'm very.
Well, I stand with Arsenal. To be very honest, I stand with Arsenal. I mean, it's been a long distance coming now, so it looks more like the Arsenal are going to be champions coming May.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the game between Villa versus Brentford. When we start this show, I said something. I said Arsenal looked a lot of performances, but Arsenal were, another lucky weekend for Arsenal, because it looks more like when things are getting too tough for Arsenal, other teams, contending teams will drop this. This is the second time Villa is losing at home. I mean, in their last 3 Premier League games, they've lost 2 games at home. 1 to Everton, Now they lost to Brentford. They after they lost against Everton, they went on to beat Fenerbahce, I think away. Yeah, they also played Salzburg. I think they won 3-2 in that game too. So they kind of found some revival after they lost against Everton. However, it looks like when it was needed for them to, if Arsenal even if Arsenal had lost that game, Villa had nothing to offer. What's going on with Villa?
The Premier League is a tough league. You don't Villa on a normal level. Villa is not a world-class team. Villa shouldn't even be going for. They don't have any business winning the league, at least now. You understand? So I understand that finding themselves in a good position is enough motivation to at least win games that can keep them in the chase for the title. But I think the Premier League is becoming tougher. Every day, you don't go to any ground or even play at home and think, this game is a one-off, that you are going to, win and it's guaranteed. Michael Owen, I think, mentioned that if Arsenal win the league, it will be a very low tally for them, or something like 80 points, and it's going to show that the league has been
the league standards has dropped.
Yeah, but in contrary, I think the standard has actually improved. Teams are signing quality players. There's a lot more money in the league. Teams can afford to sign very good players, have good scouting network, and with the way data analysis, are being used in clubs now, they can identify players that fit into what they want to do.
Yes,
so teams are becoming better. Games are becoming tougher.
There you have it, guys. That's all on the show today. Please do not forget to click the subscription button. You like to see our videos, have conversation. You can always drop your comments about what you think about the stuff we say on the show, and bring your own contribution. We'll appreciate it. Please subscribe, like, and possibly share. Thank you. See you next episode.
See you next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Scarivo. Chase the streak. Claim the glory.